What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, when Media Day comes around, you normally know it is time for the Chicago Bulls to kick things up a notch. We are entering the training camp part of the off-season and we're looking forward to what's to come for the regular season. And ultimately, we had a bunch of interviews go around from AK, Billy Donovan, to Levine, to Vucevic, to Josh Giddey, to Kobe White, etc, etc. I'm not going to dive into every single one of them. I want to take key things away from certain people, maybe even look at some, I guess, the way people were answering their questions and stuff of that nature. Ultimately, just discuss my thoughts. Now, normally, when I make these type of videos, I literally go note for note, and it would take maybe half an hour, 40 minutes to kind of do. I don't necessarily want to do that, because ultimately, these are all for free on the Chicago Bulls YouTube channel. If you really want to see it, feel free to go and check out the Chicago Bulls YouTube channel and watch all of the interviews for yourself. This is kind of my takeaway from this situation. It's Media Day, there's a lot going on. Ultimately, I'm excited to see what the Chicago Bulls could do for this upcoming season, and normally at this point in time in the offseason is really where everybody starts to get excited and have ambitions and have hopes for what's to come. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and I guess Media Day. What were your thoughts on it? Ultimately, I think this is one of the more interesting Media Days compared to several other years, and it's mainly because of the people that were kind of answering questions here. Now, obviously, we started off with Arturas Karnisovas and Billy Donovan, basically just giving the very similar answers that they gave during the offseason, saying, look, we wanted to change and we did change, and we're excited for what's to come and all these things. And Billy Donovan, again, I personally thought, this is one of the body languages that I was looking at, Billy Donovan didn't seem as calm as I would expect him to be. I don't necessarily know why. The way that I saw him answer questions, it was a little bit of a maybe annoyance there. Maybe he just wasn't having a good day. I'm not necessarily sure. But it felt like he was very angry when he was answering questions. But ultimately, Billy Donovan was still giving good answers, in my opinion. I always like a coach that is honest. He may not be the best coach out there, but he's definitely an honest coach. And he's basically admitting that these guys won't know how to play together. And that is what the goal of training camp is. That's the biggest takeaway I take from the Arturas Karnisovas press conference. Now, he did say that they won't ruin the integrity of the game by tanking, and they are aiming to try to win games and stuff of that nature. Again, you have to expect them to say stuff like that. They are not going to say they're going to tank. They are not going to say we are losing games. They're not going to say that at the end of the day. And you shouldn't expect them to say anything of the sorts. So him saying that they won't ruin the integrity of the game by tanking, they are going to try and win games, this is all an expected, I guess, way of thinking and an expected response. Now, does that mean behind the scenes he thinks something differently? I'm not Arturas Karnisovas. I'm not Marc Eversley. I don't even think he did an interview, Marc Eversley. I don't know where Marc Eversley is. But anyway, whatever the case may be, I'm not them, so I can't give you a straight answer there. But he said what he was supposed to say. And I think every Bulls fan can see that. So we'll see. If the Bulls start winning games, maybe that's exactly what he wanted to see this entire time. Ultimately, he was also asked about the top 10 protected pick. If we do start losing on purpose, he said this is not our concern. Our concern is kind of on this season. Whatever happens after this season happens after this season and stuff of that nature. And that's pretty much all I got from, I guess, the Arturas Karnisovas and Billy Donovan segments of the Media Day. Opening statements and all that, and the questions and all that. They got asked about Lonzo Ball, but again, we'll talk a little bit about him right now, ladies and gentlemen. So Lonzo Ball, basically, it was the press conference we all expected with Lonzo Ball. Blessed to be here. That was the number one thing he kind of mentioned. He's very happy, very excited. And obviously, since he's been out for 2.5 years, you get a different perspective, maybe even a different mentality coming into a Media Day, coming into a training camp. What was for so long, I feel like not many people enjoy Media Day, especially the answering questions parts. No one likes to be put under the microscope and to answer questions. But, you know, I think for Lonzo Ball, since he's been out for so long, stuff like Media Day is probably a good thing for him. He's probably enjoying that, enjoying the training camp, enjoying the photos, enjoying just being around the team, knowing that he's going to be playing this upcoming season. And basically, he said himself, no back-to-backs at this point in time. I think everybody saw that coming, and it's confirmed now essentially by Lonzo Ball himself, and a minutes restriction, which everybody saw coming. I've been saying it for ages, so if you guys are stunned by this, you need to start waking up to the reality that Lonzo Ball is not going to come in and average 30 minutes a night and get 15 points and 15 assists every game and become that all-star level player. It's going to take time, and I'm very thankful and very happy that Lonzo Ball himself is aware of this, and that the coaching staff has been communicating with him what is expected of him and how slow they're going to take it, which is exactly what I'm hoping for. The last thing we need to do is to rush Lonzo Ball back into a team and back into a situation he is not ready for, because that can ruin his NBA career if he does come back and have a chance at this. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully Lonzo Ball will be A-okay. The next one, I want to talk about Nikola Vucevic. We're talking about body language, right? Nikola Vucevic basically said all the standard stuff you'd expect him to say, talking about the excitement of playing with Josh Giddey, talking about obviously how happy he is to be back with the Chicago Bulls and all that. But I think the body language with Vucevic is a little bit more timid than what you would normally see. You know, Vucevic, again, he's more of a guy that I think he's a very honest guy, like I mentioned, and he's also a guy that every now and then he'll crack a joke or two, but yeah, he's normally a timid guy. I felt like he was a little bit more timid this time around, and I just didn't like the body language that he was exuding out on media day. Maybe, again, he's having a rough time, I don't know. Again, things that happen off the court, things happen during the day, maybe that sent him into a different sort of mindset than everybody else. But again, he said all the standard stuff. There's not really too much with Nikola Vucevic we need to discuss. Ultimately, we'll wait and see what happens for him in the regular season. Moving on, Josh Giddey. We talked about, I guess, Lonzo Ball. Josh Giddey had a surprise of his own. He actually sustained an injury in that game for Australia. Apparently, it was a minor ankle injury. It turns out it's a little bit more than that. Now, don't ask me what it is because I've already forgotten and I'm not going to search it up because it's going to take too much time. But put it this way, he's been out ever since that game. He has not played with the Chicago Bulls team, and he's kind of just gelling with them off the court more than anything, but he is expected to be able to go, I believe, by the start of the regular season and hopefully by training camp. But it was a little bit more serious than what we first anticipated. Now, this has been an ongoing theme with the Chicago Bulls. Injuries that we think are minor turns out to be a little bit more than that. I don't know why we're kept in the dark in these situations. Maybe it's the Bulls themselves that are kept in the dark on these situations. But I feel like no one really knew about this, and that's kind of heartbreaking in my opinion, because as Bulls fans, we want to learn these things. We need to know these things. Just like the players, the fans need to prepare for the regular season as well. Everybody's excited to see Josh Giddey. What happened if this injury was so bad that he wasn't able to play, and we only found out about it now? I'm not too happy with that. But again, something else we can move on about, I guess. But ultimately, Josh Giddey talking about Zach LaVine, saying how good Zach LaVine is, and obviously talking about how excited he is to play with the Bulls. That's pretty much it. Coby White, very similar. We're running out of time on this video, so I won't mention too much about Coby White. One, that afro is looking crazy at the moment, so he's definitely getting back to that rookie year type of afro. But yeah, Coby White basically, I'm pretty sure talking about, you know, what's next for him in this upcoming season, talking about, I guess, the new role that he could be a part of and playing with his other teammates and stuff of that nature. Again, I wasn't really too interested in that because there's one more thing I need to talk about, and it's Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's press conference. Now, there's a lot that was said, but what I liked about Zach LaVine's press conference, he made an opening statement. He basically called out all of the rumors, all the speculation. He put it to bed and basically said, if we need to know anything based on Zach LaVine, it's going to come from his agent or Zach LaVine himself. Basically saying that all these rumors you've been listening to about the broken relationship between the Bulls front office and Zach LaVine is complete rubbish. It doesn't exist. And if there is something you need to know, it's going to come from the Bulls, Zach, or his agent. Now, I really like Zach LaVine coming out and saying this. It's clear that he's had a lot to reflect on in terms of the off-season. And I am one of those people that have been pushing agendas, indirectly at least, because I've been reacting to articles about Zach LaVine. But I'm happy that the positive is still Zach LaVine is eager to be part of this team, ready to roll, and has a point to prove. Once again, I'm not saying he needs to stay here forever, but a motivated and a positive Zach LaVine in a great mindset is only going to boost his trade value, and it's going to boost his play with the Bulls, and that's what I want to see. That's all I really got to mention today. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed Media Day. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.